Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good day. Just want to bring you guys along for a little sharpening that I needed to do. I had a really nice young man bring me this, as well as a CRKT Pilar to church to me this morning to see if I could do a little repair and sharpening for him. So I want to bring you guys along with me and show you the process I do to do a little edge repair and some sharpening and get him all fixed up. It's a Leatherman Rebar, and the sharpening and repair that we're going to do is to the main blade, which is the plain edge. And as you can see, the tip's missing right through here. And there's a few nicks in the edge right through there. There's a few back through here. Overall, it's not in too bad condition. I've done cleaned this up for him, oiled it up, but now it's time to fix that tip. So I'll come back to you when I got this thing clamped up in the KME. Alrighty, we got the rebar clamped up into the KME. I opted for the penknife jaws to give me a little bit more clearance with this blade. It's not a super narrow blade, but it was narrow enough that I think I get a better clearance with the penknife pro jaws. So I opted for those. And what we're going to do, when you fix a tip on a blade, there's a couple ways you can do it. One way is taking and bringing the edge up to meet the spine, which is meaning you're removing material off of the edge here to meet up with the spine to give you that point back. Or you can remove material off the spine down to meet the edge, and depending on the situation to which way that you'd want to do it. I'm going to take this one and we're going to make the edge meet the spine. And the way that you do that is you'll mark up your edge just like this, and we'll find our angle, which I think I've about found it already just to save time. But we'll find our angle just like you normally do on any other sharpening. And then once you find your angle, you'll raise it a few degrees, because what that does is you're focusing on the very apex. So you're moving material out here on the very apex of the edge, and it's faster, in my opinion, to do it that way. You can also find the angle and just work it just like that, and just work it back until you get your tip back. But I find it a little faster to do it this way. Different people do it differently. I've done it both ways. Both ways work. But once you fix the tip, if you choose the method of raising the angle, then you can either keep the current angle you have to sharpen the knife all the way through, or you can always reprofile it a little lower if you'd like. So, like I said, I think I've about had the angle found there. You can see there's a little bit of Sharpie here where I haven't hit, and you can see the silver there of the edge. So I'm going to raise it just a couple degrees, maybe 3-4 degrees. Lock my angle down, and I'll re-Sharpie the edge so you can see where we're hitting once I move my angle. You can see Sharpie's being removed at the very apex, but still on the shoulder of the edge. And when you work up towards the tip, you want to make sure that you put a little bit of pressure towards the tip, and you don't want to go past about maybe half the width of this stone past the tip. What I mean by that is, let me see if I can flip this to where you can see it. You can see the tip of the knife is about halfway in the middle of the stone. That's about as far as you want to go. That way you don't take a chance of rounding over. So I'm just going to do some scrubbing strokes. Sorry about my camera. And I have the 100 grit in. I Could have used the Beast, but I just stopped it at 100. And you'll want to flip often. You don't want to do a bunch of work on one side. That way you don't make your bevel widths kind of wonky. So you'll do a little work and then flip. And you can see, hopefully, how that I'm just hitting the very apex on this side as well. As you can see, I'm kind of just tipping my stone just a little bit towards the tip and not going past about that half mark. Okay. You can see some of that there. Not really looking for the burr yet, even though I know I got one, because focusing on the apex. As you can see, hopefully, we're already starting to get well, if it'll focus. Some of that tip back. Not a lot just yet, but some of it back. And you want to make sure you're doing your sweeping strokes on the belly and not just focusing straight up and down the whole time, because you can flatten that belly. As you can see, I'm doing like a sweeping stroke. Do a few strokes here. I'll even the bevel width out when I go to do the sharpening portion. And same thing on this side. See if I can't turn it just a little bit for you guys to see. And you'll just work it like that until you get your tip formed back the way that you'd like it to. And what we're going to do for time's sake is I'm going to finish doing that. Just make sure you're flipping often side to side. And I'm going to come back to you guys when this thing is fully fixed and sharpened up. I'm going to do this to 600 grit. And then I'll show you the results that we get from doing this. All right, we've got the sharpening done. I just got done with that, and I wanted to show you how it turned out. You can see there's a nice fine point on that tip. Now, if you want to rewind back to the beginning of the video, you could see where that tip was missing a nice little chunk out of it. And what I sharpened is, and this is my normal progression, I did a 100, 140, 300, and 600 grit diamond. These are all diamond stones, and I normally do this progression with my users and my EDC knives and stuff like that because it leaves a nice little toothy edge. So I went through this progression, finished on the 600, and then I stropped it with 6 micron diamond emulsions from KME. So since this is a sharpening video, we always got to test sharpness, that way you guys, you know it's sharp. So let's do a little bit of a phone book test. First with me. As you can see, that is nice and sharp. Well, I hope the young gentleman that this is going back to truly enjoys it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. And as always, if you want to, like, comment, subscribe. But you guys have a good one.